You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Surprise on the mix.
We look for the news with the around. Log into Liberty TV online. Positively we bring the change. They get the masses involved. Staffs them everywhere, everywhere. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi, yeah, hey. Voices come. Hi, yeah, hey. Credibility, now we ability. News, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give you the news, give you the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. Human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. You call on me, count on me anyhow. Liberty we ride, like a nigga we fly. Liberty TV day before. We climb the mountain just to get the news. We go down the slums to get the views. Hi yeah, voices down. Hi yeah, give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. You count on me, you count on me anyhow. Give the news, give the views, the tell where you want them. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. We human them, girl picking, there's a get the power. You call on me, count on me anyhow. We speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.
Surprise on the mix.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, where they stream on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website, where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We where they bring the program come to you this Thursday morning. Mina Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mabel Kaba. Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 27th day of March 2025. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show this morning, we take a look at all what's on the happen at the office of the Attorney General. Also, we go take a look at the reform them where governments don't make under the leadership of the Attorney General as it don't pass 100 days in office.
Well, this and plenty other story them did the program for you this Thursday morning. Remember, say yourself for the watch week, go get the opportunity for join the conversation by way how we for send we your message to the number +23274 200 545. We will continue with the Breakfast Show.
Alright, we will continue the breakfast show, and the first issue we go look at this morning now outside the proprietor for the New Hope Primary School. Reverend Aliu B. Conte does raise concern, but the different activity them where he say they happen around the school. Well, it talk then concern here we get for do with the current situation of the school and how the activity them where they happen they affect the picking them where they attend the school. Let me just watch as we report our Mary Jane Sise Bingo Wakade.
In New Hope Primary School, now school wait up na Brookfields community. And this school don't take but 5 years now, but this school not in a good condition. Reverend Ali B. Conte, now the proprietor for the New Hope School, start first for talk about the challenges where then get na this school.
Great challenges that we get, most especially na this water where they pass there. They really above a lot. Although once in a while the water they come inside, that's the water that will cause destruction in the entire person. They come inside, but without destruction, you know they enter. But like I say, on the dirty, because everybody in this community, in the stream, are the same dirty. Every week, almost people put there for the cleaning. After that day, now you see the place decent. Another 2 or 3 days, you don't see a market and lesson. So these are the challenges we're facing at this school.
Reverend Ali B. Conte carry on for talk about the solution where they want to address this problem.
Indeed, the school need help. I want the government or so arts people them, and then come on board and come see how they will help with this water for protect the school the more. Yeah, because if they come on board for protect the building, I believe say the place will be more safer, more like where the foundation is so now. We need another, concrete so we pass right now. So if the water they come, they already beat that concrete, they beat the foundation. So these are the help way the school wants to make government or art organization come on board for carry.
Concern wey come out from the proprietor not be different from one of the teacher them way they teach at the school.
Like when you look the community as a whole, you don't see the dirty when the water they come. We can get so much challenges within the even community people, and then they will come into way garbage that the waterway is unnecessary for the picking them health, and also for we as a staff also it affects we greatly. And then also the challenges are also where we get in this community. There's a ghetto around we also where they bring so much they change the picking and mindset that's they want for then get certain people and the way then they try for be like, but but we ask government that we could pray that one day they will come to the aid and for see how best they will transform the school to another something else. Because I remember when the government they do in campaign, it's a waiting. It's a free education. It can for strengthen the education sector. But here now we know they see anything like that, because if you say they change the education sectors, it talks about hygiene. You understand? It talk about the facility that where we need forget with Veronica buckets is there. We need forget with toilets is them. But these are some of the challenges that we will be facing as a school.
As this school they suffer from sanitation problem and other challenges them, they call now support this school need for make all picking them learn a good environment. For Liberty Online TV, me na Mary Jane Sise the report.
All right, so they continue the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. In case you just tune in, don't forget to share the program so that more people go be part of the conversation this Thursday morning. So they can talk to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, when Alpha Sesay, for update the public on different reform them where a ministry they do, especially one that we get for do with the constitutional review and the extradition way the Dutch government don't ask the Salon government for handover the Dutch fugitive when a Belojos wait and say suppose for go stand trial na the Netherlands. Well, how far the Salon government through the Attorney General office don't go for ensure say they adhere to this call where the Dutch government don't make for let them go send back the fugitive who then believe say they na Salon. All of that the Attorney General go discuss inside the program this morning. But before we can talk to the Attorney General, quickly, let's listen to some concern them where people where they do business get for sake of the exchange rates where they believe say not stable and save the price control where they see not stable in the country. So then call on government and the relevant authority them for look inside and concern here. We reporter Al-Hassan Koma gets more and he gonna report.
School. Now one of the major issues them we don't affect the country in economic development. And our government's mandate for ensure say they control the price of goods and services all about the country. But the issue of price control don't be a growing concern for people in a salon, more especially during holiday period and when the country can observe some important occasions. Salon don't experience heavy inflation over the years as inflation don't increase from 18% inside 2021 to 37% inside 2022. And inflation don't keep on for increase day by day. The question will be the ask that's which measure where government don't put in place for control price level na salon. Now that make we talk to citizens for make we know waiting at them challenge where they can get when prices can go up.
Price is too much. Them they go up now. This first month just can't add no more now. But things them they go up. When any day then they put price up. Any day price they go up. Me I know say now for the first month, but not to the first month now because now so now we don't do.
Not really easy. Even the body and say for I biggest when they work for me, they all don't left me. Some of them now $2,000 don't left with me safe. Yes. Because of I not able to pay there again. Because every day where we go na a different price with the meat. Any day we go na different price. Like Posse can for la make for and do more gates. Why show and price? They just left me go. Then they feel say now we do all the money. Then they think say now the price they go up. So right now it's not easy for we at all.
Every day thing they rise up. You see? Even the materials and the way we buy the wood and will be the work cut. Now it don't go up too much. You see? Like we not get that too much money where you say we go buy an upland or cow town. The one they wanted to go buy the whole way and cow town every day that they add for we. Really it's not easy. You see? This then are the thing. Every day thing that they go up.
So we they big for Papa government for let price control let go be put the price down for we. Because we the poor and they really suffer them we know one commander street. Commander street with the poor and they Hamburg way. With the big Papa government, for let's talk to the big one there, for the prices there, let them go down. We not big with the big.
From the concerns here from people where Liberty Online TV talk to show say plenty problems don't deal at the country with the gas government regulating price for different commodities na salon. Within some of the disadvantage to the business where people they do like growing concern and most of them not able to make profits because of inflation and unstable price control na salon. Well, Liberty Online TV will continue to monitor the prices for different commodities across the country and for ensure say authorities where they in charge regulate the prices for different commodities across the country. For Liberty Online TV, Al-Hassan Koma the report.
Right, well, still with Al-Hassan Kuruma. Let we go now to Parliament. Outside the Deputy Leader for the Opposition at Parliament, Honorable Daniel Kuruma, say if state-owned enterprise them able for do them work proper one, then go able for address the concerns and where they around the wage bill. Well, he talk this way it be the debates in Parliament for sake of the State-Owned Enterprise and Government Act 2025. Let we watch as Al-Hassan Kuruma go update you on that.
Tuesday, March 25 this year, Parliament been debate the bill titled the State-Owned Enterprise and Governance Act 2025. This act therefore established the state-owned enterprise for effective state ownership on behalf of government and for provide better economic management and for also promote public trust in government and the ability for manage public resources. and for provide for other related matters. Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, where they represent the APC Nakambia district, where in the debates the bill is say government failed for allocate enough money to then state enterprise here, we can make the honorable for succeed.
And these institutions we think they are below the standard that we need to privatize. Can't we build them up? Can't we use the example of, Broken Commercial Bank was almost dying. But it was built up and today they are doing well. So as a nation, let's look at this institution. One thing I have always said in this world, and I have said this to the Ministry of Finance, why we are struggling with the needed revenue we need to build our nation is institutions that are meant to bring income are today struggling to survive themselves. Come to talk about manpower. You talk about manpower. You can talk about manpower. You met people who've been in those institutions and they've been booted away, and we bring in inexperienced people who it takes them almost 5 years to come to the standard where those who have been there are. And you expect those institutions to just continue growing. No, they will not grow.
Honorable Fala Tengbe, where they represent CSLPP Nakambia district, inside yon debate, he said the Deputy Minister of Finance for think about the functioning stock exchange where go involve plenty people for invest.
See SOEs be positioned such that they are being designed to advance economic growth, economic transformation, industrialization, and import substitution. But Mr. Speaker, the sad reality is that this has not been the case. Here in Sierra Leone, our SOEs have not been performing. Yes, we know there are brothers, there are babies, there are children. But if you have a child that is not performing, something needs to be done. That child or baby definitely needs to be examined. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, it was against that backdrop.
As members of parliament, not be agree with the Minister of Finance on waiting day inside the bill, where they present to parliament the deputy leader of the opposition, Honorable Daniel Omar, been suggest to the House say parliament for ask the Public Interest Committee for summon all state-owned enterprise for make the SOER tell parliament then challenge.
I want to make this humble suggestion that since your good office has established the Public Interest Committee in this House, I'm suggesting that as a way forward in looking into this bill, that the Public Interest Committee summon every SOE, each for those SOEs, to present at least 5-page document on what is their challenges, why they failure. They can speak for themselves better. What is your problem? Management of postal services. What is your problem? Why are you not performing? What is your problem?
From waiting the deputy leader of the opposition, Honorable Daniel Koma say, make the deputy leader of government business too, Honorable Emerson Lamina, saying that because of the change of different governments, make state-owned enterprise not they succeed.
Corporate governance, through and through, it can be seen in section 29, as well as in section 30, clause 29 and 30, weak corporate governance. It's very clear. But where are we? Let me ask you a question. Where were we when overnight a single man got monopoly over gold and diamond? I come from a diamond district. Shabil Saeed Muhammad. So have you seen government in, government out? What will be the policy of a particular president at a particular time? It is also engine today. Understand? We are all here overnight when Shabil Saeed Muhammad was declared by Dr. Shekastini, you are the sole owner of all our gold and diamond. Go and sell it. Can you imagine? Gold and diamond. Where were we when Jamil Saeed Mohammed was the sole man in charge of our fisheries in this country?
With all in consensus and debate, we members of the ruling bench and members of the opposition been make na the well of parliament, make the deputy speaker, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa contest say because the bill gets some issues for make corrections on, the bill for go back to the legislative committee for make them look into a proper one. For Liberty Online TV, Al Hassan Kuma the report.
All right, from Parliament to the Canal studio, as earlier we tell una say today in the program where they talk to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Sesay. We go update the public on some of the things then we are able to achieve as it don't clock 100 days in office as the Attorney General. And also we go give updates on the constitutional review process where they go on now and serve some reforms them way do happen na the ministry under in leadership. Well, this morning, a pleasure to get the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Good morning, Mr. Sesay.
Good morning, Khadija, and good morning, Mabel, and good morning to the viewers and the people of Sierra Leone.
All right, let's first start for look at some of the things them where you don't able to do since where you take over the mantle of leadership na the Office of the Attorney General. Yes, you been done the day before as the deputy, but you take over fully after where His Excellency the President be appoint you for become the new Attorney General. 100 days in office, unpack some of the things that we're able to achieve.
Thank you very much, Khadija. And normally they can say, you know, when you take about 100 days, some people can say 6 months. When you take up to 100 days, a time for really make you take a step for like unpack, you know, some of the things and where you don't work on. So yes, I've been on at the ministry as the Deputy Minister of Justice for about 1 year, 5 months. And then December 13, the President appointed me as Attorney General and Minister of Justice, and then sworn in on the 16th. So yes, you'll see this week, actually, I think yesterday, make 100 days. And so with many things and we are on the work on over the past 90 days to 100 days. One of the things they really enough for me identify with legislative priorities. One as a sector, and then as a country. So that means really try to prioritize the constitutional review process, where, as we all know, don't they go on for over 20 years, and the president don't make a commitment, say they want to take them to completion. That also don't include working on the recommendations in the tripartite report we get for do with legislative reforms. Some of them touch on the constitution, several touch on other legislations and the Public Elections Act, the Political Parties Act, you know, IMCS, LBC, cyber crimes and security, etc., etc. So don't they try to make progress on all of that, and then of course also work with other ministries for identify their own legislative priorities, you know, and develop a calendar and see how we roll that out. It also means coordinating with Parliament for CCA, you know, we get a calendar for roll out them priorities here soon. It also don't be important for me, you know, as Attorney General, for ensure there's visibility. You know, we only talk about, you know, right to access information. Right to access information not for only come into play when people make requests. You know, it also, say we get for be proactive for communicate things we they happen in the justice sector. So now since since the time I've been deputy and now of course as Attorney General, when I see how open are they, you know, about engaging at the public, coming at the media, explain things, systems and processes as they go on. But it also means try for make sure saying we revive a website for the ministry. It also means say we try for reconstitute the justice sector communications team. We really suppose for they bring information from all the justice sector institutions, and then we package that, and then we get a plan on how we get for the roll that out to the public. So really, I don't try for make sure say there's more openness. Also internally, I'm going to try for work on internal strategies. We don't talk say we want for prioritize gender justice. We respond to gender-based violence crimes. One for be like, you know, a major priority. I'm doing my tenureship as Attorney General. Of course, you know, no means say other issues and less important. We therefore attend to other issues. We just want for really strengthening response because the president don't be very clear, you know, addressing issues where they affect women them don't be a priority for the president. So we have a buy into the president's imperative. So what will they do? They review the internal systems. They try to put together like we own strategy, internal prosecutorial strategy, and sure say we get some guidelines. Where they inform with decision making on how we respond to gender-related crimes, as well as sexual penetration issues. That don't even make we try to develop like a joint policy with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education on how we respond to sexual and gender-based violence issues where they affect schools. During this time, so don't they also try to make sure we strengthen partnership, with various institutions. We don't get really dependable partners where don't be supportive to the justice sector over the years. When the war came to an end in 2002, Salome gave for make justice sector reform a major post-war initiative, but that's been possible because development partners have also been come on board, and support that process. Over the years, that slowed down small. So we don't try for CC, we strengthen partnership engagements, and I say partnership engagements both in and out of Sierra Leone. Also, don't make sure, say, during these 90 days, work with the judiciary for see how we reduce the caseload. When our members say just about the time when the president appoints me as Attorney General, about the same time they appoint a new Chief Justice. Me and the Chief Justice, we happened for these classmates from Frobe College through law school. Were called to the bar on the same day. And so we don't use that relationship and the momentum of our appointment for CC. We bring reforms to the sector. So we work on how we reduce the caseload. CC, we don't try for like amplify circuit courts, strengthen prison courts, for make sure, say, we reduce caseload now in correctional service centers, but as well as civil matters with the the court system. We work on a project now for decongest the prisons and really reform the prisons architecture. And then a few days ago, I think some people in CC, we launched a major initiative for develop a blueprint on how we digitize the justice delivery process and really transition into an e-justice system where go ensure say the justice delivery process is effective, it is efficient, it is transparent, and the system will go hold people then accountable. Don't they try for also make sure, say, we get some interministerial coordination. Don't they strengthen engagement with the Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Local Government, because plenty of them cases then they cannot court. So you know how we do that. But if we do all of these, it also means that we go for reconstitute the office. So those internal processes we don't work on for CC. The office is properly positioned for deliver on the priorities we don't set. We feed into His Excellency's agenda for reforming the justice delivery process in Salon.
With the look at then major highlights in the way you don't give the public as part of what's going to happen inside the past 90 to 100 days where the president appoints you for the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. But also inside this 90 to 100 days, one major highlight when a public interest gets to do with Bello Josh. And since the government of Sierra Leone confirmed to the public, say, the Netherlands don't ask officially for Sierra Leone release this man for go back. Up until this time, there has not been any public updates regarding this. Waiting at the current situation.
Well, the current situation stands for me. Say which I have been provided update the last time on AYV, which was that maybe not receive the extradition documents from the Netherlands, and at that time where I've been say I'm the review the documents, and yes, I don't review the documents. I think say also good make family understand how extradition they work. Wait to make a talk say I get for review the documents. It also good make people understand roles and responsibilities. First, start with the fact say. When they talk about investigations and bringing people into custody, and police, then they handle that. And so the IG of police go able to provide updates on who side the investigations did, and then who side a day with the search for bring the person into custody. I of course advise government. But then, of course, when investigations take place, I take papers to court. It's just like sometimes people can call me and say, hey, they don't go file complaints against this Mifambula police, or they don't go arrest this Mifambula. So which you go able to do one time when me party even call and tell me say, oh, this person did, they don't arrest that person if he sleep na cell, they go tell bad on your ministry. I get to explain to her and say, police not they under justice ministry. Some country they were police under justice ministry, police they under internal affairs. So when it comes to investigations and custody, now police they handle them. Me, I provide guidance on the law. That is what I do. And so, you know, like I've been saying, when people understand how extradition works, what it make it be important that the Netherlands transfer them documents send it to me. Because it means say, as we can say, as per the Extradition Act of 1974, when they don't charge somebody in another country, or let us even say they don't convict them, and then once that person they extradited, the law say they get for transfer that same evidence to the Attorney General. The Attorney General, they watch them documents and see the evidence. And then if the person they in custody, the Attorney General will make an application to the court. And then the court will make a determination as to whether the person needs to be extradited. Now, the person can also hire a lawyer, you know, and challenge all of that in a court. So for me, who say a day with all of this, now that the documents are before me, and if police say they don't conclude the internal investigations, if police say we don't get the person in custody, I'll be in court the next day for presenting the papers.
As of now, because the day before yesterday, we talked to the head of police media for now, we are the deputy media for the police. He refer the case back, say, not to the police, they do the investigations. Now the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, headed by the minister, because this particular issue gets to do with international cooperation. And the last day we talked to Sibana, the Minister of Information. He said the document they to you now for let you review them, and you don't confirm say the document they with you don't review them. At any point through your office, the law permits you for urge the Inspector General of Police for speeding up the investigation?
Well, yeah, I mean, the point is that it's not like it's written in law, right? But because, you know, we can say justice delayed is justice denied. Just like, you know, all the cases and way important, I go urge the Inspector General for speed up investigations and able to provide updates. And yes, you know, the question is, have I done that? Yes, you know, I don't make the Inspector General no say, you know, I don't review the documents, and I won't forget an update on where things stand with the investigation, and, you know, the search for bring an individual in custody.
Looking at it from the bilateral relationship angle, the governments of Sierra Leone and that of the Netherlands, if they get this kind fugitive, we then convince then see him na pictures and videos very close to His Excellency, and they request to una government say una give this person like can serve in jail time. And even recently, always the Salonia, they even convict him for additional crimes them where he commits. How serious una government take this issue of Belojos?
No, we take them very serious. We take them very serious. You go realize, say, once this matter come up, I think it was on a Thursday or Friday as we move into the weekend, the government, they issue a statement right away for acknowledge, say, yes, we don't see media reports. And take note, say, government issue a statement at a time when the Dutch government not communicate officially yet. We were responding to media reports. So that's not because we treat the matter with seriousness. And then you see, say, the Minister of Information make rounds, you know, na various media outlets, which I explain what's in the happen. You see, say, for successive press conferences, the Minister of Information and Civic Education do a brilliant job, which they explain. They provide updates to members of the public. They bring the Inspector General of Police on one of the press conferences for come and explain to people who side things did. That is a government where we treat this very serious. And so far, we don't cooperate with the Dutch authorities. Yes, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they handle, bilateral and multilateral relations, on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone. When it comes to mutual legal assistance, yes, it's something the law requires for do, and we take that with the utmost seriousness. And that is why me, as Attorney General, don't in discussions with the Dutch authorities. Of course, when I've been seeing a news say, me and my counterpart, the Dutch Minister of Foreign Affairs, we get a conversation about this, and I provide an update to RAM as to where things stand. He emphasized the seriousness of it. And we talk about, broader cooperation on transnational crimes, So I'm not only in relation to this. That's because the government take this really with the utmost seriousness. And not so we approach this.
When last the Sierra Leone police update your office for this investigation, we then suppose for the do?
Well, as of last week, I talked with the Inspector General of Police. We say, yes, the investigations they're on, and they at a very advanced stage in the investigations, and then we'll provide an official update to me. And once that official update is available, we will make the public know.
The issue of just aside the Netherlands government, we now wanted to them, it become of international interest, because the international media really carry them, and the image of the country now one way many people believe say it's not too nice right now internationally, and all of the issues there they in front of you as the Attorney General for advise government on the legal aspects of them. Is it that the police now know they don't know Usai Umar Sheriff where the IG say na then Sabian for Usai ide presently in a salon when they not able for Fenait and Brian Cam to the police for do the necessary arrangements they want to send them back to the Dutch authority there?
Well, Khadija, I want to start with the last part of your question, asking whether, is it that the police not do this? I don't want to speak on behalf of the police. Me not to media relations for the police, right? And I think I don't provide an update as to, within my last discussion with the Inspector General of Police on this matter. I know say the police, attach the utmost seriousness to this, and I take the IG in word for it that it do in job, but I don't want for get into whether they're not taken. They're not taken serious or not do as far as we know they're doing their job. But I think saying it's good for us then directly, make them provide a step-by-step update on where things stand with the investigation. And on the contrary in image, I feel say, with the jump to conclusion really fast. Now, as we the lawyers can say, you accept without conceding, right? Say this individual dinner saloon. Now, because we say a dinner saloon, it is alleged, we say the country in image don't be battered. But the whole point is the activities for which the Dutch authorities, they look for this person, now activities which were conducted in the Netherlands. Right? In the Netherlands. Now, the activities also happen, allegedly. Now, should we say, because the activities also allegedly happen in the Netherlands, that means the Netherlands are image battered? No. Every country, they deal with iron challenges. That is what governance is. Every country, they deal with their situations also and how you do respond to them. Now, the Dutch, they allege, say, or they don't convict somebody, say, for over several years, this person carry out illegal activities within the country. Then say this person, now the national. Now you just make reference saying, quite recently, there was another conviction. But all of these happened in Europe, not in Sierra Leone. So the allegation is that for over a short window, this individual don't be found in Sierra Leone. But then already, we all jump to conclusion, say, Sierra Leone is not the bad actor. I think make we take step and see within the country they do for tackle transnational crimes. You see, say we don't strengthen the legal regime. You see, say we don't strengthen the accountability process, wherein people are being prosecuted and convicted. You see, say government, they strengthen response. Now the border entry points, we don't see several information about, arrests or interceptions. We don't happen na airport, na water key, or na the land borders of a country. That na part of government response. But the point is that when they say transnational crime, then call it transnational crime because that's the way they affect more than one country. They move across borders, So it's a challenge we a lot of countries they deal with, But then me go talk for Salon say we they strengthen, we respond, This might not be the last time, we get a challenging situation. It might be another subject, But then how we respond, I'm not really people for judge we by.
Notwithstanding, waiting for the outcome of the police investigation. Based on the document where you get now your desk from the Netherlands for this request for let Josh go, and the laws of Sierra Leone, where as a lawyer, is it possible for let Salon at the end of the day send Josh back?
All options are on the table, Mabel. One, as a lawyer, I not go conduct trial na the media. More so as Attorney General, I shouldn't be doing that. I think say make we not put the cart before the horse. For me, we say me suppose for lay evidence. As lawyer for the government, na court, and when that time they reach, I'll do my job. And then, of course, it will be up to the court for make a determination if in that direction we go, and the court could make a determination and say yes, there are basis for say this person also don't be found wanting yonder, and that this person for be extradited. So make we allow that process for play out instead of making categorical conclusions on media.
How long in all of this? Now, one big question where the public don't they ask: how long investigation go take place? How long this whole procedure go done for each at a conclusion?
Well, so again, I think it's dandy another side. It will good for me to talk with the police, because like I say, when it comes to investigations in this country, criminal investigations, not to the Attorney General, they do investigations. Now, police, they do investigations, and then they transfer the file to the Attorney General in office. We will provide advice for determining whether basis they for charge a matter to court or for say this particular investigation say also no meet the evidential threshold.
Before we can look at the issues of the tripartite recommendation and the implementation, quickly, in as much as you want the police for answer some of the questions on the investigation, but you are the principal advisor to government so you can plan legal issues as the Attorney General, and I'm sure you don't follow the international news where they go out there and that Sierra Leone they harbor a fugitive, and as a Sierra Leonean and somebody who they serve under this administration, I'm sure not to news than the way you want for the go out for the government.
No, that is because Sierra Leone they harbor a fugitive.
But justice here.
Well, the point is, the way it is reported in the news. So first, like I say, make we go back to waiting the IG of police say. I really want to be guided for say the Inspector General of Police been saying they don't able for match a name Omar Sharif to the face of the person where the videos and the pictures. But then they were working on getting this person into custody for questioning and present, the facts before the person, which is how, criminal matters are conducted in this country. Now, that process they on, right? You can say, maybe yes, the person this salon, say Omar Sharif, now Josh, in this salon, But when they say government the harbor am, it's like saying a government the keep am. Yeah, I think say that's not to the correct characterization of the fact.
The other news from other international media, now that Jos, they enjoy close protection from the Salon government, and they get a very close relationship to big gun official them. And if the police up till now say they will bring Guma Sheriff to book, one go on for belief say it gets protection from the Salon government.
Honestly, Khadija, that is not to my knowledge. I'll state in very clear terms that what you present so, not to my knowledge. Say this individual, you know, gets protection and all of that. I think say, yes, we don't be very transparent as government for say this individual in videos where the police don't accept say, you know, match the name Omar Sharif, you know, was found or seen at an event with the president being there. I think say we don't be very, very open about that as a government. Now, whether that translates into an individual having close relationship with people in government, whether that individual is being protected, you know, by government, that is not to my knowledge.
On Monday, we will host the U.S. ambassador Naya, and he speak lengthily on how the U.S. Embassy, the role they play from immediately after the June 24, 2023 elections onto the term for set up a tripartite committee, and the committee do them work, then support them, and reports don't come away, I believe, say, you know, one of the integral parts in them, that entire process, even before you become the Attorney General. And now not time for implement the recommendation there. We for strengthening the country electoral laws them for ensure say a repeat of what happened 2023 not happen at future elections. And one of the things the way the US ambassador been tell we now that then still they support this process, then still they follow this process. And one of the things that they are aware say this current electoral commissioner by July this year, in time for done, and they monitor for ensure say the government and the opposition sit down together with other stakeholders them for let them go appoint somebody else we go take up that role day. As of now, also on a day in terms of implementing some of them critical recommendations there inside the tripartite report.
Thank you very much, Khadija, for that. First, now for note say the tripartite process, as we all long come for column, and the recommendations were done at the committee in report. Yes, now after the 2023 election, that process was put together, but not only for ensure say what happened 2023, not happen again, because the issues which surround 2023 elections, the gaps we exist in the electoral process, or the complaints we get, these are not new. I think I want to establish that first. You know, if we go back to 2007, the SLPP at the time didn't disagree with the outcome of the elections, even though late former President Berewa, Vice President Berewa, didn't congratulate President Kroma, former President Kroma. And then in 2012, President Bio didn't disagree with the outcome of the elections. And then in 2018, the APC also disagreed with the outcome of the elections. And then in 2023. Now, how does the president see this? Even before we got to Bintu Money, when I hear that tripartite process born, you will say, the president may not announce, say, each time we get elections, people they complain. Election denial don't become a norm at Salon. They say, so let's fix the system so everyone benefits. So now on that basis, it be announced na Parliament say it will set up a process for review with electoral systems and processes and make recommendations. So here sets the tone, acknowledging that almost every election since the war come to an end don't get its own challenges. So make we fix the problem, make everybody benefit. But then, of course, we know, we say we brothers and sisters at the APC being stand about the outcome of the 2023 elections, and then, of course, the president again says, okay, he agrees, say, let's get together. APC agrees, say, let's get together. And then, tripartite was born. I just want to set the tone, say, this really was meant to look beyond 2023. And so I've been fortunate for the tripartite committee, where we, looked at everything, but not only 2023 we look at. We go back several election cycles and look at all of them one and day, and then they all inform the outcome of that process, the content of the report, and the recommendations we agree on. Now, it's in the hands of government for implementing recommendations here. So now, what we did with these recommendations? One, now that government immediately after the report was handed over to His Excellency the President makes sure say it be laid in the cabinet. Cabinet adopted the report. Two, government set up an oversight structure. We headed by the Chief Minister, but it's broad because it get government ministers inside it. They get representatives from the APC inside it, the mayor of Freetown, the mayor of McKinney. Then they serve on the committee. They get members of parliament. Member of parliament, they represent the SLPP. A member of parliament, they represent the APC. It gets civil society. So it's really a broadly representative oversight structure. And then next, you get a secretariat. We don't be set up. And the secretariat is headed by someone who gets extensive experience and expertise in electoral management, both in Salon and, in other countries. And when I go look at they head the secretariat. That secretariat, they really get for shepherd the implementation of these recommendations. Next, the government makes sure, say, it subject the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone to a functional management review. And with support from the United States, come with International Federation for Electoral Systems, with IFES, work with PSRU and the ECSL for subject the institution to functional management review. Now, all the entities that were implicated in the tripartite report, like the ECSL, the PPRC, the judiciary, then self-SIDOM and get the new internal processes, the police, etc., for see how they reform themselves in line with the report and recommendations. And then you come to the legislative reforms. Yes, there are several legislative reforms we need for put in place. Matter of fact, when you look at the tripartite report itself, it talks about 40 provisions in several legislations we need for be amended. Inside the Public Elections Act, we really need to guide the conduct of elections in this country. We get about 26 provisions we need for be amended. We get about new provisions we need for come inside it. And then you come to the Political Parties Act, where really, PPRC, they use for manage the affairs of political parties. You get 5 provisions we need for be amended. And then you come to other legislations, the Cybersecurity and Crimes Act, we get 1 provision. We get for do with how we define certain crimes offenses. You come to Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporations Act, IMC, and then it also talks in forget a new legislation. We go strengthen the independence of the police. Now that recommendation they come at a time when we already try for repeal and replace the Police Act of 1964. Remember, I talk about legislative priorities. That really, they among the legislative priorities. So we make sure, say, the tripartite recommendation on how we strengthen the independence of the police, it fit into that legislation. So significant progress don't be made in implementing these recommendations, and we make sure, say, we do them immediately so that when we conduct elections in the future, everybody go able for embrace elections outcome. We go down close the gaps we exist in with electoral systems, and then that will really strengthen public confidence in the electoral process and the governance system of this country.
Mr. progress that you say don't be made for implement the tripartite recommendation them. Concerns on they come from the opposition when a then government go into all of this with regarding how one can select people in for the committee and subcommittees them on behalf of the opposition. Explain to the public how the procedure Stanley, because the other day we been get the APC Secretary General. He said the party is not happy with the way how una they go about for select or that una want for represent them in committees. How una they do them?
Well, I mean, the point. Make I give an example. You get the other committee, we come out of the Agreement for National Unity, when a resolution 4, right? We now talk about reviewing cases. We, the APC, perceive as being politically motivated. Now, the president set up a committee. First, make we note say resolution 4. Not even talk about a committee. Resolution 4 say, yes, you know, we go review then cases here so, but it will be informed by a list we submitted by the APC for consideration by government. But His Excellency the President, in his own magnanimity, you know, watch say no, make this process inclusive. So we set up a committee. We determine Deputy Minister of Justice, and me chair that committee there. And in the committee, we make sure say not only government today, you know, we bring in civil society into the mix. But then the APC request say then go one for nominate persons to that committee, and so we say fine. So the APC submitted 3 names, and all of those names were incorporated into the committee. And then an agreement that now, based on a discussion between Dr. Samura Kamara and the Chief Minister, see, forget members of Parliament represented. But then there was an agreement at that point saying the representation for Parliament, from Parliament, for be done by the parliamentary leadership. Yes, there was a time where the Secretary General be feel say the representation for the nomination for be made from the Secretariat. But this now based on waiting the people them we been the shepherd the agreement for national unity. When Dr. Samura Kamara and the Chief Minister be not agree on. And so we reach out to Parliament. We say parliamentary leadership, una hang heads with the APC, and then the parliamentary leadership for SLPP also hang heads with the SLPP. And then they nominate the individuals came to the committee. That is how we have handled the process.
How the mayor they come inside, especially the mayor of Freetown, and that of the McKinney Council, because now one day where the Secretary General make clear say they're not satisfied for let una nominate them people in the for them.
No, well the point is that there was a decision, say, for bring in the leadership of local councils. I believe that.
That decision, where I come from?
Oh no! So when the implementing structure was set up after engagement with various stakeholders, there was a decision to be only government and civil society, right? Take note, see the tripartite recommendation, the tripartite report not recommend the need for set up such a structure. Again, now the president now say no, let us set up a structure where go be representative, we will get several other people we're involved in, you know, shepherding this process. And so when the president appoint the chief minister for head this process, government set up this structure. They bring in civil society, right? You know, the Sierra Leone Bar Association, the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, represented, or then other political parties represented on the committee. But then government also, after engagement with various stakeholders, say a good local councils, the leadership of local councils be represented on the committee, because this not only about general elections. It also good make we get representation from the councils where they engage with people in the localities. And so now on that basis, they and take the leadership of the various local councils for be represented now the committee. You know, the point is that you go say even the SLPP go get the same complaint, right? If you don't say in local councils, right, you want to go back to the parties, may then send representatives from the councils. They're representing the councils.
So both parties then be agree for that decision there.
Say
for include the local council heads.
Oh yes. Look, both parties embrace the process. But you know the whole point is that we also know say so if you go to the agreement of national unity, there are 8 clauses, right? Everybody don't focus on resolution 3 as well as resolution 4. But then there are other provisions inside the agreement for national unity where they talk about inter-party dialogue. So a lot of the engagements are so sometimes before they can public, then it don't happen after consultations with you know the leadership of the political parties, and sometimes other stakeholders like you know the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, as well as the development partners who don't support the process, can be involved in the discussions here. So. You know, and then of course, you know, we can see the outcome. I think one of the things that we don't say quite some time back, I think say we say the parties need for do better. I think we they do public outreach for make the public understand this process and make the public accompany this process. I don't say, I think it was on 98.1 that we also for the make sure say there's internal political party outreach. Communication take place at certain levels, make it be communicated across all levels of the political parties. So one person will say this, another person say that. But we don't get that kind of problem during this process here. So
I'll bring you back to resolution 4, where you don't take the lead on. And the last time you talked to the Secretary General there, Lawyer Lansana Doumbouya, we still get concern on the names when they submit to the government for release people who then believe say then case them na politically motivated cases. We still say the leadership of the APC go meet with you. After that meeting, they immediately then begin release some of them people there. Even the U.S. Embassy publicly commend on for them strides then they will not make. But according to the Secretary General for the APC, there are certain names them where governments put question mark. One of the names that they get for those APC sheriff in case. Then according to Lansana Doumbouya, government puts a question mark on that person there, waiting at the list, say they're not going before release them.
All right, so Neka explain this process. Yes, in fact, I don't get a lot of meetings with Lansana Doumbouya, who na like a big brother to me. You know, me and Doumbouya, we go way back. We don't work together, same office, and we get an amazing relationship. There are times we can get with disagreement over certain issues, but we don't learn for handling respectfully. I also don't enjoy doing this process, a similar relationship with other people we involved in this entire engagement. So the mayor of Freetown, Mayor Akisoya, Ambassador Yansane, you know, Merke, me other big brother Chei Koko. We, you know, the people actually we don't sit in, you know. I mean, other people like, you know, African or Sesay, we all don't get extensive engagement in a very respectful way. But still, you know, there are certain things we disagree on, you know, on how we handle them. First, make we take a step back. When we been say the APC for submit names, the APC did submit a long list. First, over 350, about 355, we watch them, and then, you know, it comes to what 318. We consider 318 names. So we sit down with them again in my office and agree, say, make we get the correctional service leadership for check whether them 318 people here so they in government custody. Now, when correctional service check then come back with a detailed list, like name by name, location attached to the names. We then share with we, as well as with brothers and sisters in the APC. We come show say, according to them, out of that 380 names they wouldn't submit, there were only 15 people in custody. 15 people in custody. The 15 include the 10 people where we talked about recently, Lamakini, who were represented by Legal Aid Board. Of course, you know, Sidiki Boniface come as a provided representation, but Legal Aid Board was in court with them every day. That's at the expense of the state. You understand? But that is what justice is, right? So we count to them 15 names. But then what do? We hand everything over to the APC. Say, we will not take correctional service, then word for it. We will self-check and see, say, them 15 names or so, where correctional service in in custody, now they no more did. So what the APC do? Get an NGO, Poor Man's Clinic, headed by another sister, Sonia Osho Williams, as well as the young lawyers then do thorough check across the country. And then when they come back, the APC come with an updated list, say, 13 people.
Now then you know the 13.
Yes. But all have been part of this 318. With correctional service, they don't figure out, say, come to 15. But then by the time we APC come out, the number have been done reduced from 15 to 13 because 2 been on the out as well. So that 13 day, we discuss them extensively in the committee. And then, after the committee don't make any recommendations, the reference where you make, say, after the meeting with APC, we release certain individuals. Yes, Nami meet with APC. And Nami also give them the courtesy for provide an update on who side things there and waiting we recommend for happen with them 13 people in there. And so we can lay that out, may members of the public understand. 10 of those people been the undergo trial na Makeni. And so what do we do? We decide, say, we go discontinue the trial against those 10 people. And so the State Council will be on to prosecute the matter in a court, Joseph Sesay, go to court and inform the judge, say, it discontinue. You will go on see the videos. I think Liberty Self being even covered that. We say some of the people and they express joy at that decision there for make them be released. You know, some even they send words of caution to their brothers and sisters. Say, you know, not forget involved in Kuskas. Next time we don't see so they happen, stay away, etc., etc. So that's for them 10 people in it. And then you get, but also make sure, say, you know, we communicate all the dates so with brothers and sisters and the APC. So when we discontinue, we make sure, say, they are there to monitor the process. That is what we did. So we all agreed on that date. And then we get 2 other people. We then if we don't say, we will discontinue the case. This now in relation to the one then alone, Sarah. And then I would call them the elephant in the room. Now APC sheriff. But before APC sheriff, we could also agree say the Ice-T. We INSEF in them in the list. And we take note say in Ice-T, in case Councillor Ice-T, they may not conduct the trial. And then the day with them for deliver judgment, they escape. And so they've been there out of the jurisdiction. So for all intents and purposes, Ice-T was a fugitive. But in the spirit of getting everybody together, and then, you know, nothing say, even when you talk about justice, a human factor, get for coming. So we consider all of that at the Camabel. And then I'll make sure, say, Ice-T come, they appear before court, and then we discontinue the matter day. So add IST to that list as well. And then, yes, we don't go 11. And then you come to APC Sheriff. We're the elephants in the room. Now, when we begin as a committee in a resolution 4, we've been developed terms of reference. And in those terms of reference, we've been agreed saying, for a matter will not don't be concluded, if the committee recommends say no matter will be discontinued, the law will allow the Attorney General in office through the Director of Public Prosecutions for discontinue. We will apply that law and discontinue. Now that we see, we apply in the case of those 10 people as well as with IST. Now we also say, but in a case where somebody don't be convicted, in a case where somebody don't be convicted, at that point, not they within the Attorney General in powers or the Director of Public Prosecutions for discontinue. That tending now, it go further up, right, to the level of the presidency, where 19 grant pardons, or you send them to appeals. Now, in APC Sheriff in case, during this term or so, it don't be convicted. Somebody go say, oh, but now you need a resolution 4 days on and convict them. At that time, they prosecute. The government don't done in case. And then the judge set a date for the deliver verdict. We're not going to interfere with the judicial process. So then convict them. Now, they're not sentenced on it, right? The next stage, now for see what the judge go say about sentencing. So, waiting we say, we know ex-Alpha Sheriff in name yet as a committee. We only say, at this point, the committee not go able for take a decision on them because as we be not say inside the terms of reference, for a matter we don't be concluded in the court, there will be another way to handle it.
What do you say about sincerity from the other party in all of this?
No, I mean, I'm not going for sit-down and question the other party in sincerity.
Because they never come out to the public. All of these things where they explain, then several explain their own version, especially the all gets for do with the big elephants in the room. According to what lawyer Lance and Adumboya, now the same Southside ABC, they explain, governments, they look at the nature of in case. Say one, they be catcher with firearms, and also governments, they get this fear, say, if they release them, it could be a threat. And the laws the way in explain, it say according to the laws, them now fine Alpha Sheriff suppose them for fine and gaining freedom. So if Mabel is asking about sincerity, now for let the public get clear understanding, because not all man get opportunity for the sit-down now and meeting them. Many times now just pictures would they see, like the recent meeting where you all with the executive of the APC. Nobody know the media people, they know they for cover and tell the public. So if we have you now as the Attorney General, it will finally clear all the doubts there.
Well, thank you, Khadija. You know, unfortunately, I've not been listening Lansana Dumbuya interview. So I only they get, you know, from what you say, as we lawyers can say, hearsay, you know. So but if not that essay, then maybe, you know, as my big brother, you know, tell the entire story. But I'm not going to question in sincerity. As you can say, we all ex alone. We all show that love in different ways. You understand? But make I just use this moment for clarify a few things. And for establish, say, yes, me brother not tell the entire story. First, make we acknowledge, say, it was never the understanding or an agreement, say, all the names with the APC, they submit, and persons will be released automatically. If not that's not been the understanding or the agreement, then there was no need for a committee for reviewing cases and day. But the reason we set up a committee now for make we review and determine whether cases and day will qualify for be considered under Resolution 4. For example, Remember, say, before the November 26 failed coup attempt, some other people have the plot for bring coups in this country or so around July going into August 2023. Then people and they were arrested. Then before we go into money for the negotiations will lead to the agreement for national unity. But then when I've been also German them and woman them, right? I've been soldiers. And actually, then trial by court martial for don't start on Monday, where the failed coup attempt happened on Saturday, right? Now, when the APC submits the list, the first list where APC submit, all them soldiers them, where they been arrested for plotting to overthrow the government. Then they made another list. Now, how you go consider that under Resolution 4? Where Resolution 4 very clear say, now for persons were arrested as a result of civil protest or election-related offenses. That name very clear. So it was never the understanding say all go with it, we go take all keys in this. So basically, like, we've been very clear say, you know, people them we don't be accused of plotting to overthrow the government. You cannot have them on that list, right? So that now for tell you say this was never the understanding. Say, you know, as the list comes, we'll just get everybody out. We're going to take everything case by case. In the case of APC Sheriff, I go say again, I no one for relitigate that matter there publicly. But yes, Alpha Sheriff was arrested and charged on 3 counts. 1, possession of a weapon without a license. 2, concealing a weapon in a public place. And then 3, operating a security agency without the license. All the one in a criminal offense. Now, I'm not going to say, you know, oh, the Resolution 4 don't say, okay, you know, this not qualified, this, you know, and all of that. Say. But the point is that if you talk to certain people, they're going to tell you, see, if na criminal conduct, when in clear violation of the law, some go tell you, see, there may be not a Resolution 4 case. Some go say, yes, you know, around the time election may take place.
According to the laws.
At the county. So, some go say, around election time, so for be considered. So we get the back and forth there. We're discussing. Now, when it comes to the penalties, it's not just fine. It's fine or custodial sentence.
Because I find Lawyer Lanson and be emphasized on see some of them things then are just fine for pay rather than serving sentence.
The law say when the person is convicted, if the person is convicted, it will be sentenced for all 3 the offenses. It will be sentenced to either a fine or to a term of imprisonment. And the term of imprisonment, whilst for all 3 counts, the law states the floor, it not states the ceiling. Because in one of those, it's either a fine or imprisonment of not less than 12 months. The second one, a fine or imprisonment of not less than 12 months. The third one, a fine or imprisonment of not less than 5 years. So you get a floor, but you don't get a ceiling. So for say not just a fine, I go disagree with me brother. It's a fine or imprisonment. But I know one for consider also and preempt one waiting the judge okay, for because now the sentencing then at the judge in hands. So now the judge go get for determine whether it's a fine or it's a term of imprisonment. But I want for say yes, it is a case of interest to the APC and a case where we don't discuss extensively.
I don't release 11 people and the list of 13 will then submit. Aside Alpha Sesay, Fuda again and the other one person will remain.
So basically, make us say, so the 13 people in custody, Councillor I still not been there at the list of 13 in custody, right? And now include another 13. Even there na the list of ongoing trials. But when the committee look at Councillor I still in case, and then in personal circumstances, the committee treats and like say, if he been there in country, then if we're not there in custody. And so need been there for consider as part of the 13 will be there in custody. So that is why that number they increase by one. But yes, there are two other people where they may arrest in relation to the August 10 incident. The one we being happen, it happened in different parts of the country. But then also they may arrest them in relation to the activities in Alonsar. At some point they may escape, but then they may arrest them. So now then two people and they in custody in Afriton, yeah.
So at any point the public will still not release them back or all charges?
We don't be very clear, say one just like how we released the 10. We also don't tell the APC say then two cases themselves, the committee don't recommend, and His Excellency the President don't accept. Say cases and we warrant review and for this continue. So we work out the modalities with the brothers and sisters at the APC for set a date for get them out.
So how about the one day we being on our way come on the country because of politically related issues them? Were they on exile? Will that be at any point discuss them?
Yes, so we don't discuss them one day. So I think we said the committee day, and then we discuss this with the Chief Minister, we discuss this with His Excellency, the President. The position basically is that for someone who is not a fugitive, right? Somebody we just left in community or left the country because it afraid say. People in our neighborhood go come after them, and then I think that will affect both APC and SLPP. So the position basically is make everybody facilitate in supporters and return. Make that not be a burden on the government. People are free for return to their communities. Now, if somebody say I don't feel safe in my community because of this and that, we don't say we will work with the police for make sure say the person gets security.
We can get one of the lawyers then for former President Ernest Bai Koroma issue, and this one thing with the public self be done they ask waiting they happen with former Ernest Bai Koroma, because according to a lawyer, he said they make attempts for meet with government when just when I reach at an agreement to say I go come back home safe and drop the charges. What's the status of all the negotiations and the way in lawyers say they make attempts for get with government?
Well, so here's the thing. First, I think I remember when I get that meeting with the APC, and then we say we're going to discontinue some of these matters. There were some media reports. We say, government don't agree, say, drop charges against former President Koroma and all of it, and say so. It's coming back, etc., etc. I want to make certain things clear. We're not that. The matter we bring former President Koroma in court, we relate to the failed coup attempt of November 26. That not get anything to do with Resolution 4. It is completely outside the realms of Resolution 4. Many people can take note, say, Resolution 4 only relates to them matters them where they na court say before we sign the agreement for national unity. And when we sign the agreement for national unity, when Resolution 4 begin operate, even in give window to the parties for make them submit names. So waiting ever happen November 26, failed coup attempt, not get anything for do with Resolution 4. So if anybody say, that case with the against former President Koroma, with the court. Now one of the things that we discuss and this and that and review, no, that person there no go dey say the truth. Now we come to which side we stand with that case. We all remember say the former president been sick, leave for go, for go out for medical reasons. The court been grant, and so it go in Nigeria. But then the point is that it is a leave that is being renewed. And so in March this year, and at this month or so, the 3 months been done, the matter come up again, and then the court's been therefore extended by another 3 months. That is where things stand. Now, as to whether there are negotiations or there's an attempt to have negotiations, etc., etc., waiting we don't relate with now how this matter plays out in court, right? And as of the last term, we've been agreeing with the lawyers for former President Nkrumah, as well as with the court in directives that the leave where then grant them for go out of the country be renewed or be extended by an additional 3 months. That is where we are.
So as of now, in leave to extend from this March for another 3 months.
Yes.
We mean say former President Nkrumah no go come back till after 3 months?
No, it don't mean so. It basically means say the court alarm for continue for get the medical attention we request.
Because there are sources out there where they suggest say negotiation they go on now through the international level, through the ECOWAS level, for get former President Nkrumah for come back na the country, and they try for talk to His Excellency President Bio for drop all necessary charges, just so then continue for consolidate this peace where the international actor them they try for get between the government and that of the opposition.
Well, Khadija, if those negotiations are happening, say at the international level, then make them steady, and happen there. As Attorney General, what I manage, now when it comes to say engagement level on the issues, and I think say the Ministry of Foreign Affairs would be best placed for talk about waiting they happen at the international level. For me, as principal legal advisor to government and as a person where they represent the state in matters where they come to court, that is where the job limited.
All right. Quickly, let's talk about the constitutional review process. I know so not get enough time, but let people then just know as of now, who say this process stay, because the process will don't take over 20 years. Government after government, they make attempt for review the 1991 Constitution, but they're not going to prioritize them. But don't say His Excellency President Bio repeatedly in public statement them, they assure people and say in the review the 1991 Constitution, and it did directly under your office.
Yeah, so on that process, of course, I don't provide several updates. As of course, laying out the journey, so I'm not going on that again. But as to we say exactly we deal with that process there. Yes, we get the technical work around the process they go on right now. That include accepting that. For example, the tripartite recommendations, they will get implications for constitutional amendment. And so, we say we try to make sure now there's an alignment. Alignment, I mean, the recommendations will come from the tripartite process and within the government white paper, right? Now, of course, we don't see several of the proposals and we align. For example, the tripartite tripartite report recommends say make we get a fixed date for elections. That's then at the white paper. You understand? Make we move from 55% threshold for elections and, where they take into runoff. And, come down to a process where not likely for take into runoff. Then one and they align, so we don't identify several of those we align. And so as part of government commitment, we try to make sure, say, then one and they go to parliament immediately because, a lot of them are non-entrenched provisions. And then the other thing we do right now for really try to draw a line between the entrenched provisions and then the non-entrenched provisions. We get a matrix for that right now. We say we don't lay out the non-entrenched and the entrenched provisions. So, for make family understand, for the non-entrenched provisions, Parliament can vote. And then, then pass. Now, for the provisions we entrenched, even when Parliament votes, they get for come to the public in waiting, we will call a referendum. So we not already make public say because several of the proposals and they will touch on entrenched provisions in the Constitution, there will be a referendum. Now, a timetable for that with a date on which we expect that referendum to take place, we go release that to the public. But of course, after we don't get consultations, one with political parties, as well as, members of the public across the country, because we really want the public accompanying this process. But, when I talk about, working on the technical details of this, there are certain things also where we get for consider. The last time we will get a referendum that this country has so, now being for the 1991 Constitution, we say we vote yes or no for whether we forget the multi-party Constitution. We do that. Waiting we not don't get now this country, and waiting plenty countries they not don't get now waiting we call multiple question referendum. We are in it touch on several entrenched provisions inside the Constitution, and then you get for can out to the public for make them vote on the one end. For example, if you look at chapter 3 of the Constitution, we now the human rights section in the Constitution say that one chapter, if you touch that day, if you touch any provision, yanda, again for go to a referendum. So you see, say the constitutional review process touch provisions inside chapter 3 and try to look them upward. For example, a few years ago, 2022, His Excellency the President championed this process for abolish the death penalty because the government believes say the state not for take other mortal man in life. But then, if you go to the Constitution itself, section 16, we talk about the right to life, it gives an exemption. Right, wherein if it is say if now as a result of an order of a court, then it not going to be a violation of the right to life. So now, as part of this process, we get for amendment, right? If you go to section 27, right, you talk about non-discrimination, but then there are other exemptions inside it. Women's group self don't talk say they're not like the exemptions, and so the Constitutional Review Committee, the current Constitutional Review Committee, and accepted by the white paper, say for draft a new section 27, we will get rid of the exemptions in there. If you go to the provision we get for do section 29, we get for do with state of public emergency, right? Now, the current Constitutional Review Committee recommend and the government accepts it for add language to that provision there, we go see, even during a state of emergency, public emergency, there will be no derogation when it comes to the right to life or the right to be free from torture. So then we're all not think that we'll go for add. But then you got to determine how do you categorize those in a referendum for make people able to understand. That is a complex issue. So those are the technical details. But also, when we don't check around the country, with the CC, the appetite, now really foresee a significant alteration in a progressive way to the 1991 Constitution. So the question will we ask ourselves, and we will go consult with various stakeholders, is whether it makes sense for go back to the Cowan report and even accept more recommendations in the Cowan report. And take note of the Cowan report, the Cowan committee was set up by former President Nkrumah, and it worked from 2013 to 2017, do extensive consultations. The record shows say over 10,000 consultations, hundreds of position papers, and going by waiting the TRC recommends, say, make we get a constitution where they reflect the views and aspirations of the people of this country, for a democratic society, it might make sense for go back to the Cowan report and then add, more recommendations. You understand? And then if you add that, you come with the tripartite recommendations. And then, you also look at the facts. The Cowan committee recommends, say, forget certain new chapters in the Constitution. We get on local government, on national security, on public administration, and then, on land and environment, right? So then when they come in as new chapters. So if then when they all come in and significantly alter the nature and character of the 1990 Constitution as we know it, do we at that point go by waiting? A lot of people in the say, when I did Cambia recently, the people they say, somebody talks, say, about 70% of this country in population are young people and we're not born with 1991 Constitution. And so they not even reflect them views. Now you get a process, we're likely for reflect them views. So there's an appetite for a new constitution. So should we call it a new constitution? And if we call it a new constitution, then now the people also get for determine that. It becomes a yes or no.
That update that we don't give so far about the status of the constitution in review one, who does it involve in that process there, in terms of inclusivity?
So first, make I also really make clear saying, contrary to waiting people and they think, there is no constitutional review committee. That committee day in life may end after the late Justice Cowan submits the report to former President Nkrumah. The Constitutional Review Committee came to an end. And so normally in this process, waiting can happen. At that point, the process they move to the Attorney General in office for take the technical details of the work in progress. So then discussions here, so these are technical discussions we don't take place within the Attorney General in office, but then we don't take step for engage with various actors. I don't meet with sections of civil society. I don't meet with women's groups and provide an update. I meet with the SLAG leadership recently and provide an update. I also meet with representatives from all 17 political parties, and Kande, in fact, each party was represented by at least 2 or 3 people. I don't provide an update, and they may understand the process. And I make a note saying, going forward, once we get in technical discussions, so we're going to bring it back to everyone, and make sure, say, everybody is part of this discussion. We make sure, say, we engage with the parliamentary leadership. We make sure, say, we come back to the political parties and make we all accompany this process here. So we make sure, say, we come and get consultative meeting with various stakeholders, not only in Afriton, but right across the country, because, as the president don't repeatedly emphasize, make sure, say, then laws that we make, including with national constitution, it will be about the people. And one way it will be about the people, and for make own the process, and for make the process also reflect the young views and aspirations. And that's exactly we plan for do with this entire constitutional review process.
Based on them processes there, so we involve before una gets the completion of this process, the question of time come to mind, because Salon, if they reach certain tendencies now, politics, they overtake everything. And even now, people don't begin discuss politics. People don't begin discuss elections. How visible the completion of this process before the next general elections?
Well, we can see this process here, so the presidency and the one relay. We don't use forgo sports and see 4% relay, or if not all else relay, you get a lot of people. This was also a 3-man relay. We are in, a process with President Kaba start. They hand over the baton to former President Nkrumah, and then former President Nkrumah hand over the baton to President Bio. We don't make a clear commitment, say, ready for complete the process. So one thing we tell people for be assured, say, the constitutional review process will be completed during President Bio this in second time or so. And one thing we're clear, make a say back to members of the public. We President Bio himself don't make very, very clear. Say, anybody will tell you, say, part of the discussion includes, say, they want to change the term limit from 5 years to 7 years. Now lie, it a lie for you. That's not the part of the discussion at all. The term limit remains 5-year term, 5 years. And then anybody will tell you, say, oh, they want to remove the 2-year term limit, so President Biogo able for one again, etc., etc. President Biosef don't tell everybody, say, that is a big lie. How is this process? Now waiting for deliver for the people. And this is not the first time, Remember, say, in 96, when President Bio make a commitment for transition to democratic governance, he did that, and, don't take my word for it. Go to the TRC report. We state very clearly in the TRC report, we state, say, Julius Maada Bio was the single most influential figure in the country's transition from military to civilian democratic rule. So that's what happened in 96. And so that same thing then President Bio gets in mind, and that's the guide in decision-making process. How he lives in 2028 and transitions, this country to into a better state than it inherited when it took power in 2018. So yes, my family will be assured, say, we'll conclude this process. Dean President Bio this in second and final term year. So.
All right, quickly, for the wrap up number, Lord, just take few because plenty messages then come in. Lord, just read few of them so people gonna say we add them, voice them through the discussion or don't get this money. First one are from Facebook. Abubakar Rashid, they say, Mr. Attorney General, the elephant in the room, APC Sheriff, as you are referring to, was part of Cherikoko's team and was shown on social media when he was found somewhere around the mountain rural. Was he not part of the politically motivated cases? Why a different sentencing?
We look at small messages. Now the YouTube channel, the very first one I go look at Eric Johnson. They say, Mr. Sesay not able to give any correct updates on the drugs lord because na agreements where then set say make them refer the various law enforcement body them.
Roland Beresford Ignatius Johnston, they say usually in an investigation the police are in charge, but it's like everyone from the courts and the foreign ministry are giving different analysis. So who is really in charge? Is it the police, the courts, or the foreign minister?
Jibrila Dumbuya na the YouTube channel say the minister, Mr. Minister, your government, the SLPP, has failed to understand that academic knowledge plays a very little role in governance. Your government needs wisdom, just like King Solomon asked for it. We need wisdom.
This one, they say, could you please, Al Kamara, they say, could you please ask the Attorney General to set a timeline in the investigations regarding just extradition to the Netherlands? It shouldn't be an ever so open-ended investigation. It has been going on for far too long and it is embarrassing to the country and the government. The Attorney General should use his office to do the right thing and advise justice for all and not be selective.
The final one I go look at because of time, Alman J. Conte say Khadija and Mabel tell the Attorney General he and his team will do a line-by-line reading. If it warrants an action, he needs 60 days. If the crime for which he has been convicted is a crime in Sierra Leone, bundle of documents. He continue to say, then comes the time, voice of reason. You have explained the procedure. That's the theory. The practical aspect, we know those crimes committed will constitute to crimes here in Sierra Leone. I guess they refer to Josh.
The final one we will take now from Fude Mustafa Toure. They say, stop dragging this issue of past elections. You have to solve it by removing the loopholes now. We are tired of hearing this story about disputed elections. The Electoral Commissioner is integral and has to be selected by a neutral body. How long will you continue to plan for implementation? In 2026, the next election cycle will begin. All right, from the messages, then they quickly will come back to Mr. Sesay for respond.
So yes, I think a lot of interest in the issue around the request from the Dutch authorities, but I think one of the reasons we make normally some of them things also, discussed in the public, right? One of the reasons we done the out here, the Minister of Information and Civic Education done the out, MISEF done the out, the Inspector General of Police done the out. Now we explain to people make them able to understand, say, one, when it comes to extradition, whether na Salon they make the request or na another country they make the request, not a thing where they happen only with a letter, where one states the right. It's governed by law. And that law, they create various steps and we need for be taken for make you do an extradition. For we, that law, now the Extradition Act of 1974, we I don't try for explain to people them. I think it's one commitment we I don't make, since I was sworn in by His Excellency the President, and for say I will be guided by the law. And so make I not bypass that law, just because we say okay, one shot in the time, and I'm also been done make very clear in several of me engagements say the entire process go be guided by certain things. One, it will be informed of the investigations. It will be informed by the evidence with the Dutch that don't provide, which I don't accept. Say yesterday with me. Also, the entire process will be guided by the law. Many people can also understand. Say yes, I'm free country and criminal processes, which the concern say we need for shorting them. So I agree with that. With the texter say, the process, long and all. We need for shorting the time for them processing. Extradition, in fact, for some other countries, can take years before extradition happens. Check the decision. It can take years. We want to handle them in few weeks. We able to handle that in few weeks. We able to handle that in few months. But it get to be guided by the law, and that's exactly what I try for do. And for me, I'm fully transparent. Whatever. Informed decision making, I go make members of the public know. Say and go say yes, that this we do and it is in accordance with this lawyer. So that you have my word. I will not lie about it. And then of course Alpha Sheriff, like I say again, I go back to the earlier explanation. Say we always been getting understanding. Say the committee go review cases and make a determination as to which cases them fall within Resolution 3. In which cases them fall outside Resolution 3. When it comes to Alpha Sheriff in matter, the committee will eventually communicate. But who say we did right now? For say because in matter, they don't already be concluded by the court. We cannot touch that now. We have to wait for sentencing. But even besides that, the idea was always that we would discuss each case individually and determine, say, this case fall here or this case no fall here. But yes, I share people in concern say they are very interested in that case. Some people will they say this was a criminal conduct. Some other people they say it will be considered as part of an electoral offense. And so it's on the table. The door is not closed. Elections, time for implementation. I agree with the caller again, with the texter again. Say yes, we need for implement, then recommendations so speedily. And that is what we're doing. Matter of fact, if you go to the tripartite report itself, several of the recommendations then get timelines. We are actually doing a lot of them before the timeline ending. If you check some recommendations there, we get a timeline, we go up to 2026. But see the speed at which we do the functional management review for ECSL. See the speed at which we try to make sure, say, the legislative amendments go through, including constitutional amendments. That is commitment. So this process is take time. But what we try to do, we try to make sure, say, we as government implement the recommendations and make sure, say, they are far removed from the elections. So they happen now, and then we get a chance for really engage with the reforms then before the 2028 elections. But many people also really know, say, we electoral systems don't evolve over the years. You understand? After every election cycle, we look at recommendations, the various observer missions that they make, we integrate them into reforms. Even the political parties act where we say, okay, get a few gaps here and there. Several of the provisions, now based on recommendations, we come after observations in previous election cycles, So that is the process. But yes, many people say government is very committed to taking this process to completion, and I really feel, say, we're ahead of the timeline with the report recommend.
All right, many thanks. That's Nabi Alpha Sesay, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, where we get a conversation with this morning. We talk on several issues them we fall under in office, and make several clarification them on issues them we get for do with the conversation really between the Dutch government and that of the Salon government now for send back a Dutch citizen when a fugitive when they believe say they in the country. The AG confirms say boy still they wait for a from the police when then they add the investigation for relocate outside this person with the police for Omar Sharif. Many thanks, Mr. AG, we joined with this morning.
Thank you very much, Khadija and Mabel. It's always a pleasure for dinner so, and get then conversations here so, and really get a chance for talk to members of the public. We're not them with the work for.
All right. Well, now the end the program for this morning. Princess Pierce produced the program. Musa Saokoma and Dennis Kamara. Now then, the technician, they will provide support to the production team for this edition of the Breakfast Show. Meet you. Mina Khadija Bangura, they say have a blessed day.
All right. Until we meet again, Mabel Kabade, so get a good day and goodbye.
Undeveloped city, then clean, all clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown. And today, I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let me start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dirty in the street, in order to make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So when you waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packet something, not even a ground where you don't. Make sure say you put on one of them bins then they. That litter bin they, in order for you host dirty. You know mean say if you pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty to them one way the Allah say clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. In order for Karango, now the one of the two official sites. In order Karango Kisi Bome, in order Karango King Tom Bome. It turns so, it left on a ground. And now we council get a problem, but you self get a problem. Because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So wait you for do with your host dirty. We get the one then a council when we don't certify. Say then are approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution, everybody from make sure say then waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies. So you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And what we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them. for help you for no outside and day, and for let them self go to you, so that we no go get that gap. When you heap dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach. All the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money on dirty business. The fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations, the illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. All that boku money, I'm not going to say we're not going to spend anything, but we're going to reduce some. If Fritonians then do the right thing. Because we're not going to get for go clear illegal dump sites. We're not going to get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money we spend now on dirty business, we go able to put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want to improve the markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money we use for dirty business. You and while we all make up our mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.